Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry, this has to be in two parts. But anyway, as I was saying, we just ended the first part with Scourge powering down so he can prove to Sonic that hey, I don't need to be super to beat you because I've been able to beat you since the first day we met. Which, like I said, was a long, long, long time ago. I don't know. I can't remember what issue it was. I think it was issue 8. And then as he powers down, he starts to feel weak and almost burnt out. So to basically you see this exclamation mark there, where it's like what the, it's like basically thinking what the fuck just happened? You know, what the fuck just happened? And he's asking Sonic that, how, why, you know, like what? And Sonic basically tells him, hey, you know, I had to remember, you know, this is our world, so the positives that happen on my world become negatives on your world, and that basically when I power down from being supersonic, I feel great. I get a power boost. But if you power down from being super scourge in your world, then you get burned out. Basically, it weakens you. And Scourge feeling weak and is telling Sonic, hey, you cheated me. I'm king. I've conquered this planet on my own, and that, you know, telling Sonic he's nothing. And Sonic basically swipes the crown away, breaking it in pieces, and just flat out tells Scourge the truth. He says, "You're not a king. You're not a king. You've been nothing but a bully. Bully, and that's it. Someone that always takes the easy way out. Thinks he's better than everyone else. Think he's some kind of ladies' man, a macho man. And that because of that, you always try to get the quick reward. Big whoop." And Sonic explains to him, but me, explains to him that, hey, but me, I don't do that. I do things the right way. I help others to make things bigger and better than what you have it, the way you have things here. 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 Basically, Sonic's just explaining to him that, hey, you know, we do things that basically, you know, we're the, you know, as the good guys, we always win, and because as being good guys, we don't take the easy way out. We don't do what you've done. I don't do what you've done. Basically, he's telling him that. He's saying, as I mentioned, he's telling him, hey, I don't do what you do. I help people. I help people make our world a bigger and better place than what you have your world as. Yes. And as I mentioned, and that because of that, the good guys like myself and my friends always win in the end. And that nobody who can run, and that there is nobody can run longer and faster than he can. And that's what he says in closing. I hope I made some sense there. I'm sorry if I didn't, but I hope I made some sense. Okay, next page we have the next day on the planet on Anti-Mobius, where Boomer is a little upset, like basically saying, you know, so what if he beats Scourge? I don't know why we have to give these things back. And Buns in her mecha outfit or mega outfit says, just shut up and disconnect. And Miles, seeing the positive in her being in her, seeing the positiveness in her being in this Omega outfit, tries to remind her that, hey, it wasn't our idea to kick you out of the group, it was Scourge's. And that with the armor, she could be a real asset to the Suspicion Squad. And Buns just basically says, you're a creepy little cuss, you know that? Basically telling him, hey, you're still, basically telling him that you could take your deal and shove it up your you-know-what. And Miles is like, hey, just think about it, just think about it. And then we have the Freedom Fighters and Silver and Rob and Buns walking back to Dr. Kambunto's, I can't pronounce it, the good Dr. Robotnik's tower. And we have Amy basically saying, hey, telling Sonic, see Sonic, one exciting adventure later and I'm fine since I was with you. And Scourge, and she's holding onto his arm, and Sonic's got this look like, yeah, whatever you want to say, Amy. Let's just get back to good Dr. Robotnik's tower and leave this messed up world. And as they're leaving, we see Miles looking out the window, and Alicia asking him, do you think asking Miles, do you think Buns will ever come back to us? And Miles' response is, Yeah, probably. She can't be, goody good too long. I mean, she's still got a lot of, evil in her, a lot of rebellious, rage in her, so she can't, be the good girl or all and protector of the good doctor for long. And and Alicia, along as they're walking down the stairs, Alicia comments on the fact that it's too bad they couldn't get the schematics for the globe post. And Miles kind of informs her, "Hey, don't worry, I've memorized them, and that the Freedom Fighters and Mobius will pay for the collective embarrassment." And Alicia agrees, but she said, "But first, we got more important things here, like trying to get this castle back in shape, and get some supplies to steal to do so." And then Miles kind of adds in, "And to sit you back on the throne, Your Highness." And Alicia basically reminds him that, "Please, Miles, I may be the figurehead, but we both know who's in charge around here." And then we see Miles with this menacing look on his face, like he knows who she's talking about, but who is she talking about? That's the question I want to see answered someday. The next page we have Sonic and Silver, and Sonic asking, "Okay, is everything cool, or do you want to start another fight?" And Silver says, "Hey, I still need to do some more research, Sonic, but that I will find the traitor in your Freedom Fighters group, and that he will be back to protect them." And Sonic says, "Okay, sure, no problem. I'll be here when you be here to do that while we wait for you." Basically, he's telling Silver that he'll take care of that as well in the meantime while they wait. And Silver, basically goes into the warp ring and into the future, telling Sonic farewell and that they will meet again. And Sonic waving back, saying, "Yeah, have fun in your Daspalan future or whatever." Basically, Sonic really still doesn't get what Silver was really all about, or who he was, or what he was here for. Basically, Sonic is a little bit more confused about Silver than ever. And now we have the good doctor Robotnik thanking him, and Sonic saying, "You still have," and saying it's no. Sonic saying, "Hey, it's no sweat. And asking him, "Do you still have him?" And that being Urge locked up, and Doctor's like, "Yeah, he's still bound and hasn't stirred since you brought him to me last night." Basically, we're talking about Scourge here. Basically, Sonic had brought in Scourge to the good doctor to be, locked up until they got ready to leave. And now Sally says, "Well, that about wraps it up, Rob." But basically Sally's saying that about wraps it up. Says Rob was sent home, and that Sonic and her are the last to go back to Freedom HQ. And Sonic, with Scourge on his back, an unconscious Scourge that is, telling Sal, "Not quite, Sal. You're the last one to go back. I'm hauling Scourge to the jail in the parallel zone, and then I'm getting some answers." And that's how we end issue 196. I'm sorry it took 2 parts to do it. But overall, I think it was a good story arc from beginning to end. I think they did a good job on it. I hope that what we read in these past couple of issues, I don't know how many issues it was that the story went, that when we head into the 200th issue, it's just as good. But overall, I have to say it was not that bad, and that I think Ian did a great job with it. It's a great story. The little part with Shadow and Metal being flashed into another zone, basically into the Sonic X world, was a good way to lead into that. And it really opened up a question as to who Alicia Acorn, Sally's evil double, was talking about, as to being who's really in charge. That's a question I'd like to find out. And in Silver, that's another question that might be answered real soon, as to when is he going to find out who this traitor to the Freedom Fighters is. But overall, it was a good issue. I recommend it if you don't have it yet to go get it. And that's all I have to say today. For my review of 196. And I will be back real soon with my opinions for January 2009. So until then, take care, God bless, and peace out.